So you beautiful people, welcome to my Modern Warfare Blueprints breakdown series. This series is aimed at me breaking down the particular weapons that you will obtain if you're willing to grind out some of the missions, challenges, or the particular weapons in interest. And what the aim of this series is for me to go through that grueling grind, review the weapon and let you know if it's even worth you investing that time to go for that particular weapon. So in today's video we are going to cover the Steel Curtain. Now the Steel Curtain is in real life probably more based around the AK203, which uses the same 7.62 by 39mm rounds. It's been co-developed by India and Russia, and it is basically the most modern version of the AK47. So that's my feeling as to what this weapon is based around. So let's take a closer look at the actual blueprint itself. So if we actually go into the Gunsmith, you'll see it's got the Spentnaz Elite barrel on it. It's equipped with the APX5 holographic sight, the FFS close quarters stock, the tactical foregrip, and then the 40 round magazine. Now it is an absolutely stunning weapon and looks quite reminiscent of the AK-47 from Modern Warfare 3, but we need to find out today whether this weapon is actually worth your grind. So what do you have to do to obtain this weapon? So if we head over to the barracks, go to missions and challenges, and this was the Warriors Code challenge. So to start off with, you will need to get 2 public wins, get 75 kills, get 5 headshots in team deathmatch, get 20 kills with equipment, capture 20 flags in ground war. This one was probably the hardest one to actually do. It was painstakingly hard to do this one here, and I do implore you to just grind through and persevere if you're really going to go for this particular weapon. You'll need to get 20 point blank kills. The 7.25 will work wonders with that. You pretty much want to catch people running through doors. That will kind of assure you that point blank range kill. Get 5 wins in any objective mode. Now the reason I've taken so long to grind this out is because the challenges were bugged, but now they're fixed, so you could only do this in search and destroy, something I didn't know to a later date. Get 25 kills with kill streaks. Get 40 kills with your secondary weapon, and believe me, you can't use overkill for this one. So my recommendation for this particular one is to go into hardcore with the 357 Magnum or the Deagle, and it's a one-shot kill every time you shoot someone. It won't work again if you're using overkill and a 7.25, because that is classing that weapon as a primary weapon, not a secondary. Then you'll need to get 10 long shot kills. Sniper rifle in ground war is highly recommended. Get 5 wins in gunfight. If you can partner up with someone, all the better. That's what helped me get through this. And then finally, win 10 public matches and you will be blessed with the Steel Curtain rifle. So heading back over to the actual Steel Curtain, let's talk about its attachments and whether they're actually worth it. Now these are more of a cosmetic aspect of the game. They do have all of their abilities. So with the Spetsnaz Elites, you'll get damage range and bullet velocity at the cost of aim down sight speed. With this, it says that you will lose aim down sight speed, but you do get a really nice precise picture. It's slightly magnified as well, just ever so slightly. And for me, I don't believe that it penalizes you too much. Now, if you're a true marksman type of person and you don't want your aim down sight affected at all, then you can just use the iron sights, which they're not too bad on this weapon. All I would say is sometimes the body can be behind the iron sight, so you find it quite hard to acquire them when this weapon does shoot, because the recoil is really rampant in this particular weapon. The stock obviously allows you aim down sight speed, and the aim stability, it's negligible. You won't find any difference in my personal opinion. The 40 round mag is pretty nice to have, and in the tactical foregrip gives you aim stability. Now me personally, I switched that out for the commando grip. I just believe it gives you a better all-round package, and you've got a nicer movement speed. I have tried the Merc, but I didn't feel like you had that almost like stalker like movement when you're aiming down sights, which you get with the commando foregrip. And that is pretty much how I keep the weapon, just a change in the on the barrel. So here we have me in game with my class with the Steel Curtain, and the first thing you're going to notice when you use this weapon is the recoil is quite rampant, and this is why I've chose to change over to the commando foregrip. Now, it's very controllable, very predictable. In fact, I've done a recoil test for you guys to see exactly what goes on with the recoil. Now, as you can see, it goes upwards, but it kind of snakes from left to right, and then it pretty much stays static. So in terms of headshots, you will get a lot with this weapon. But you need to pick your battles in terms of accuracy, and you need to make sure that when you can, you burst. You don't actually shoot straight off. Just keep blasting at people, because you are going to miss your targets. But it's a very powerful weapon. Around 3 shots to kill. I don't think it's ever taken me more, but if you do get a headshot, you're pretty much going to kill people in 2 shots with this particular weapon. The sight on it that it comes with is very nice to acquire. It's not intrusive. It doesn't take up too much of your screen. I think it's perfect. If you do want to change that out for another sight, then feel free to and experiment with stuff. But for me, the layout of this weapon as it comes, aside from the foregrip, it's perfect. It's a very, very, very nice weapon. It's nice to look at. It's quite reminiscent of the AK-12. Now, if you did want to go down the route of changing it to something closer to an AK-12, then you'd need to put the 5.56 rounds in. But this obviously has the 7.62 by 39 in. So, would I recommend this particular weapon to you guys? And would I tell you to do the grind on it? This, in my personal opinion, is a highly recommended blueprint. It's something that I definitely believe is one of the best ones. It is a legendary. It shows as an epic in the actual missions menu, but it is actually a legendary weapon. ADS speeds are not affected too much by attaching the other attachments, and you can see quite clearly I can shoot people off the hip. Now, just as a suggestion, I'm going to give you my loadout for this particular weapon, so you guys can see for yourself and tell me what you think. Feel free to change this at any point if you want to. So this is my class loadout for my Steel Curtain. As you can see, I've got the commando foregrip, which affords you better recoil stabilization and aiming stability, which is something you're definitely going to need with this Steel Curtain, as it is buck wild when it wants to be. I'm using the 725. This is my own personal setup with this. So I've got the monolithic suppressor, the commando foregrip, which is a favorite of mine, the forged tack steady grip, and then sleight of hand. I know it's so meta at the moment, but you need a shotgun if you're going into close range battles in this game, so I have to conform, unfortunately. So obviously you're going to need the overkill to have the 2 primary weapons. I use restock because I use the likes of the stim, and you'll get 2 of these, but what will happen over time is both your lethal and your tactical will charge, so you get a free one. So that gives me the ability to get rid of shrapnel, which gives you 2 lethals, and I use amped, which allows me to change to my shotgun or back to my Steel Curtain a lot quicker. So that is my recommended loadout for this particular setup. It gives you the ability to be slightly more aggressive, but also protect your back when you are in situations where you need to, you know, calm it off a bit and just gather your thoughts as to what your next move is going to be. So you'll still have the ability to replenish your claymores. The stim will allow you to come out of battle, get back into battle after you've charged yourself with the stim, and catch unsuspecting enemies who believe that they've got you banged to rights. Because what often happens is, if somebody does manage to get some shots on you, most of the time, especially if it's close quarters, they will try and run you down, and you're back in the fight with more health than them, able to finish them off much quicker because you've got 2 very, very powerful weapons here. So guys, Would I recommend you grinding the AK Steel Curtain? 110%. Yes, it's actually one of my favorite weapons in the game now. I believe the AK47 is a very underrated gun and probably one of the best guns in the game. Obviously, everything is overlooked by the M4 at the moment, but it's definitely worth your time. Please change out the grip for the Commando or the Merc. You'll get much better recoil stabilization, and it will treat you right if you treat this with respect. It's a great weapon. So the Legendary Steel Curtain variant definitely gets the thumbs up from me. Guys, let me know down in the comment section whether you've already got this blueprint. If you haven't, let me know if you're going to consider going for it after watching this video. Guys, there are many buttons you could hit, but a like and subscribe button, I hope they took your fancy. And as always, guys, don't forget to stay on the right track. Peace.